Here at the NRA annual meetings in Louisville, Kentucky, I am absolutely thrilled to have with us on the program right now Mr. Nathan Gibson. How are you, Nathan?
Good, sir. How are you doing?
I am fantastic. We also have Meredith Gibson. How are you, Meredith?
I'm good.
And Natalie Gibson. How are you, Natalie?
I'm good.
Excellent. Glad to hear we're all doing well. We're all having a good time at the NRA annual meeting. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this your first time at an NRA annual meeting?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah? You too, Nathan?
First time, yeah. Yes, sir.
What do you think? It's kind of big, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, we've had the opportunity to talk with Nathan before, and this is such an amazing story to me. So, in Iowa, it's against the law for anybody under the age of 14 to touch a pistol or a revolver, ever. I mean, mom, dad can't be with them. You can't plink in the backyard. Can't go to. It's just illegal. It's against the law. And Nathan, it would be against the law for you to stand in the backyard with your daughters and teach them how to shoot a .22 pistol.
That is correct. Even in my house, if I just wanted to teach them about the parts of the gun or have them help me clean the gun, I would be a felon for letting them even touch
You could
the
lose
handgun.
you could lose your children.
That is correct.
You could have them taken away from you for teaching them how to be safe and responsible with a firearm.
That is correct.
Now, you want to give them a shotgun, that's okay.
Yep, or an Uzi. That too.
But
Everything.
that's just mind-boggling to me, and I'm glad to know that I'm not the only one whose mind has been boggled by this, because this bothers you all as well. Your minds are boggled, and you've been working to change this law, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so what are you – so, Nathan, let's talk about this. How did you get involved in this issue, and what made you decide, you know what, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to start talking about this?
So I'll tell you a little bit about the background, but it's actually these two that decided they wanted to stand up and fight it. But basically what happened, at the age of 5, I started teaching them. I had guns in the house. I wanted to teach them about it, kind of kill the curiosity, so to speak. We talked about it, and Meredith asked one day if she could go shoot. My wife and I talked about it and said, sure, we can take her out back and have her start shooting a Walther P. .22 pistol. And we did that in Iowa for 7 years, 6 years. No one really knew about this law. And one day Natalie and I were out on the range, and the range officer asked how old she was, and Natalie replied, what were you, 8 at the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, replied 8, and he told her she couldn't shoot. And we were just like, what? We've been shooting here for 4 or 5 years. And it was just an old Civil War era law that no one knew about. And a Democratic senator had pulled it up to offer an amendment to it to get some pro-gun votes in his district. And that amendment failed, and all it did was bring awareness to the law. So at that point, I told my daughters I couldn't shoot anymore. And I guess I'll let Meredith kind of take it from there, because she's the one that wanted to stand and fight. So
yeah. So when Dad says, "Sorry, Meredith, you're out of luck. You want to change this. You got to change the law." What did you think?
Well, I said, let's go. How am I going to change this law? And my dad said, well, you're going to have to go to the Capitol and talk to senators and Republicans about it. So we did, and we got a lot of Republicans on our side, and we passed it through the subcommittee, the full committee, and then the full House. And then it went to the Senate. We got it through the subcommittee, the full committee, and then the Senate, it just didn't pass because of Steve Sodders.
Because of Steve Sodders. Are you happy, Steve Sodders? By the way, I'm really impressed. Did you expose them to Schoolhouse Rock as a kid? Have they learned the "I'm Just a Bill" song at all, or is this all just personal experience?
This is personal experience. At the time, I think they were learning about the legislative process in school, but it's different. They've learned a lot of things that it doesn't just go through like the song says, right? You can have senators, even though they have 35 senators said they'd vote yes. What she's explaining is we have some 4 anti-gun senators that won't even let the bill come up for a vote. So they can learn about it, but those things they don't teach, right? So they're actually experiencing these things firsthand, and now that they know that even though they have enough for it to pass, they know that that's not enough. So they have a new mission this summer. So
what's the new mission here?
We're going to go, over the summer, we're going to go door knocking to every single house and tell them to make sure that Steve Sodders does not get reelected.
So the girls actually have a political action committee that they've formed with the local nonprofit Iowa Firearms Coalition, and the girls are going to be on the ground. They're already starting mass mailing. They've handwritten letters and stuff.
What?
And door knocking, and the political action committee is going to help them with billboards and different things. So
what's the name of the political action committee?
It's ifcpac.com. It's Iowa Firearms Coalition. They're the local NRA affiliate there in Iowa.
That is awesome. I'm just curious. Do you think that you might ever run for office one day?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I was kind of getting that inkling, just a little bit there. What about you? Do you think you have a future in politics?
Yes, and I also want to become a veterinarian too.
It's a good choice. My daughter wants to be a veterinarian as well, so there you go. So if the law changes, because you were able to shoot with your dad, right? And then all of a sudden you were told you weren't able to do that. You were okay, you were safe, you were responsible before, but now all of a sudden you don't even get that opportunity. If that law changes, what would you tell your dad? I mean, would you go out to the range like first day that you could and just break out the Walther P22 again?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I would just tell my dad, let's go to the gun range and pull out my 9 mil and then go shooting.
So she's passed the Walther P22. So she's actually an active 3-gun competitive shooter. So she can tell you a little bit about her gun, but we can't, and USPSA, but we can't do that in Iowa. So ironically, we have to drive to Illinois for Meredith to participate in her sport.
Okay, so any Illinois gun owners out there right now? Right there, there's one. Because I always hear from Illinois gun owners, oh, state sucks. So here you go. You can now say, well, at least we're not Iowa in this regard. At least my 14-year-old can go shoot a pistol with me at the range. What do you like about 3-gun competition?
Well, I get to meet new friends when I go competition, and I learn new things every day, and I can move up to bigger guns and other things like that.
That's awesome. So I've got to ask you both, Meredith and Natalie, there are people who are going to watch this who don't like the fact that you like to shoot. Okay? They just don't. They don't really want to see it. And they're going to say things like, your dad put you up to this. You wouldn't even be interested in this if it weren't for your dad just shoving this idea down your throat. Do you genuinely enjoy going to the range? Do you genuinely enjoy shooting?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah?
There's actually a really funny story that happened in the Republican side.
Okay.
No, on the House.
On the House side.
Yeah.
There's this lady, she said, so this bill's telling us that you're going to give 1-year-old, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds guns, so technically you're forming a toddler militia.
That's right. That's right. This was the toddler militia bill. I forgot about that. First of all, neither one of you are toddlers.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Would that kind of bug you a little bit?
Yeah.
You're like, excuse me, I'm 10.
If I
right?
can shoot a 12 gauge in an AR-15, I'm not a toddler.
Stick with politics. Don't get into talk radio anytime soon, okay? Because I like my job, all right? Listen, you are so inspiring. I mean, it is so fantastic talking to you. Nathan, your daughters have to inspire you.
They do, and to your point, I'm actually a hunter. I don't do USPSA. I don't do 3-gun. I love going out, waterfowl and upland
But you
hunting.
get wheelbarrows full of cash from the gun lobby, right, to try to, turn your kids into little shooters,
Yeah,
right?
no, at this point right now, my sport participation scaled back because of the amount of ammo I have to continue to buy to keep up with these things. They literally go through 1,000 rounds of 9 mil and 1,000 rounds of 223, in a weekend between their actual competition and the practice. So I'm ecstatic, that they love to shoot, but more importantly, that they're standing up and fighting for something that they believe in and not just standing by.
That, you know what, and really, honestly, that's the most inspiring part of y'all's story. I love the fact that you're shooting 3-gun. I love the fact that you're safe and responsible, that you're learning from your father. But the fact that at such an early age, 12, 10 years old, you all are both standing up for what you believe in, and you're fighting for what you know is right. You all are an inspiration, and I want you to know that. Thank you for doing what you do.
Thank you. Can I actually give a message to everybody?
Of course you can.
I'm telling you, everybody, that me and Natalie are not trying to form a toddler militia. We're not trying to form us kids to conceal carry. All we want to do is just go back to our sport in Iowa.
You don't want to rule the state or anything, right? You're not trying to?
No.
Okay. That's good to know.
I want to become president one day.
I would vote for you. I would vote for you. We have 23 more years before you're constitutionally eligible?
I think so.
Although I suppose if you set your mind to it, you could probably get that age lowered to 18. I have the faith that you could do that.
Thank you.
All right, one day. What's 23? Let's vote. We'll vote Gibson 2036. We'll just say something like that, right? We'll lower the age a little bit by then. Well, Nathan, Meredith, Natalie, again, thank you all for what you do. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your weekend here in Louisville, Kentucky, and I hope that you get a chance to go shoot with your dad. the firearm of your choice at a range near you very, very soon.
Thanks for
Thank
having us
you.
on your show.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cam.